Hey guys, Outdoor Enthusiast 88 here again. So I have a camp gadget to show you guys today. I've had this gadget for about a year now. I've tested it about half a dozen times while camping and just kind of goofing off in the backyard, and it seems to work pretty well. It has some advantages as well as some disadvantages to the competition, and that is the BioLite Wood Burning Campstove. So this thing came about a few years ago, and its claim to fame is, although heavy, which is a disadvantage, it's about the size of an Nalgene bottle. Remember these ancient things called Nalgene bottles? I haven't seen those trending in a while. But it's about the size of an Nalgene bottle, a little heavy. The fuel is 100% wood fuel, so you can just go and collect kindling and wood and sticks and whatever you can find around your campsite, pine cones, pine needles, I mean whatever you can to get the fire going. And basically, I'll show you guys, it kind of has a really interesting thermal, I'm not a scientist or anything, but it's like a thermoelectric conductor that actually goes in the flames from a fire, heat the conductor, which goes and charges the small lithium battery, which can then go and power the small fan that makes your fire really, really hot inside the stove to boil water or cook food much quicker than a regular fire. It's about actually on par with the speed of using one of these canisters in like a little rocket stove. So without further ado, bust her open, show you guys what you get. So these are on Amazon. They're about $129. Sometimes you get them a little cheaper at REI or LL Bean or something like that. Comes in a nice little bag. Been used quite a bit, so you have a lot of kind of burn marks on it. In this little kit, you got USB. This actually USB is designed to plug into here if you want to kind of jump start the battery or charge it before you go out. That way you know it's charged in case you can't get a fire lit right away. The fan will help you get the fire going. Fire starter sticks, as you can tell, I've probably used these a few times, but you will need some kind of help in starting the fire. So you will want, you could start it with like pine needles and stuff, but the fire is so, this canister is kind of far down in there that you will want to have something on the bottom here to help get everything going at first. Some instructions in there. There's also a little pot kind of rack you put on top here to help balance the pot out. Kind of fills in these gaps right here. So it's a nice flat surface for a pot or a frying pan. And they sell various accessories for these too. They have like a little grill you can put on there, and like a little like I think it's a grill, and they also have something else, a little stove you can set up here, a little to help conduct heat. So if you want to keep this going, just drop sticks in there. It does burn through fuel quite quickly, so you will need quite a bit of sticks, and I'll show you guys. We'll do a demonstration at the end of this video. But before I put this together, you have these little feet. Put the two outside feet out first. You have a little nub here that goes in here, but you go put the heat conductor in there first. I'm gonna call it a heat conductor. I don't know if that's what it really is, but you can see the scorch marks on it. The flames go through here, heat this up, which charges the lithium battery in here, which goes and pushes out, runs the fan, which is in here, this little tiny fan. So it blows counterclockwise, like a whirlwind kind of setup in there. So you'll see when I get this thing going, it blows, when the fire is going, it blows this way and heats it up really nice. On the back here, you have a button here, a low and a high setting, USB, we'll talk about that. Basically, once you get this thing set up, what it's going to do is it should already have a charge from the last time you used it. Last time I used this was a few months ago, I think, on a camp out. So I think there should be a charge, but basically when you start a fire, you're going to put everything in there, go ahead and get your fire starter, drop it in there, drop whatever, some really dry wood. You do need dry wood because it's a small compartment. You need a lot of wood and a lot of little pieces of dry wood in there to help get this thing going. You push your button. You can hear that. And what it's doing is, I can feel it, it's blowing air on a low setting. So when the fire is already going in there, a little tiny flame going, it'll heat it up really well and get the rest of the fuel burning. Now, as it's going and heating up this battery, once this battery is fully charged because of the heat from the flames, it's going to go and turn green here in this light, and you'll be able to select high. You push it again and you can select high. And then it'll just blow the fan even faster, which is at boiling temperature. So you can go ahead and boil water really quickly with the high setting. You just hold the button and turn it off. hold it for like a few seconds. The USB, I will tell you, so for example, you plug in and when it's on high, it's green. You need to throw a lot of sticks in there. It's going to burn through it really quickly. It boils water about the same speed as a regular stove, but the USB is going to, let's say an iPhone 6S, all right, a bigger phone, newer battery, bigger battery. Let's say your phone's at 20%. Now I've tested this out. At 20%, if you turn it on like airplane mode to kind of conserve battery so it's not sucking it away, this thing will need to be burning hot for 5 minutes to get you like 2% charge. Not that great, right? However, you're off the grid. You know, you're running this thing through a tiny lithium battery using wood. So, I mean, in an emergency situation, I wouldn't use this as a camping, like you know, if your phone's dead on your campsite, you're just goofing off, you need to charge your phone, this will take forever to do anything. And a lot of wood, lots of bags of wood. So I would say that in an emergency situation, your phone is dead, you plug this in, you're throwing wood in here, you'll get a charge enough to power up your phone again, get that text out, get that call out in an emergency situation. Now, disadvantage to this thing, heavy, heavy, heavy. And I'll show you guys right now what I mean. Get my little scale out here. So just the stove and the pack is 2 pounds, 1 ounce, all right? And now that's not including this stuff. That makes it 2 pounds, 4 ounces, all right? And that's just your basic, right? No fuel, no wood. Obviously, you can get the wood when you get to the campsite. Or if you need to carry some wood in, wood's not terribly heavy, but for a small amount, right? I mean, you need enough. I would say to boil water, you need to fill this thing up 3 times over the course of about to reach the boiling point. Because the first round's going to just heat it up to green. Then you need 2 more rounds to keep it going for 2 more minutes to get that water going, or for 3 or 4 more minutes actually to get that water going. Now, comparing that 2 pounds, 4 ounces to, let's say, a pocket stove, all right? This is like just one of those cheap little pocket stoves, all right? These are neat things to have, though. We used them before. You got like a little canister, 11 ounces. Throw an even bigger canister, just over 1 pound. How about a kit? This is one of the MSR kits, had it for a long time, kind of been through its paces. Comes with 2 pots, aluminum pots, fuel, same thing as this canister right here, MSR fuel, a little stove, one of the ones with a cable hookups, so it goes and hooks up through a cable so that it's not laying on top of the fuel canister. It's actually meant for higher altitude, I think, to help with high altitude burning. And comes with like a windshield little tin thing. So this whole kit with 2 pots, still only 1 pound, 13 ounces. And that's this whole thing with 1 can of fuel. I mean, if you go and throw this on there, plus I threw an extra can on top, then we're looking at getting heavy, right? So this is probably a week's worth, if not a little more, if you have both of these. So just to show you guys, I mean, it is heavy. It is heavy, but in an emergency situation, this is great to have around the house. It's great to have if you're just car camping. You could backpack with it. I mean, it is heavy, but it's not terrible. Plus, you don't have to worry about fuel, right? If you're going on like the AT or an extended hike or something like that, where you're going to be out backpacking for more than a week, and let's say you don't have a supply drop for fuel, then this could be it. Obviously, I don't know how long you can last because you need to get food, but water you can get filtered, right? But this thing is great for extended use. Some of the other drawbacks beyond like the weight and beyond the phone slowly charging is, I would say that I can imagine, you know, having parts like this could break. You have, you know, sensors in here. You have a lot of technology packed into this stove that could go down. So, you know, if you're talking about like a prepping scenario, this is great to have. But in terms of prepping, you probably want 2 because something might go down. You know what I mean? Like the sensor could go down, the fan could stop working, the battery could just die. and there's no way to access that. I mean, there's a couple of screws in the back here, but where are you gonna get a spare? So, of course, it's better than fuel though, because all you need is wood. You know, this stuff runs out, so yeah, without further ado, let's go and take this outside, give it a run. It takes, like I said, 4 or 5 minutes, hopefully, to get this thing boiling. So we'll take a look. All right, be right back. All right, guys, we are outside in the wilderness on my backyard patio with the BioLite. Put the little stand on there for boiling. And what we're gonna do, grab some twigs, some sticks, throw them in there. Like so. Take a lighter. I like this fire starter up that came with it. Make sure it's good to go. Drop it down in there. Make sure it goes to the bottom. Give it a second. See it smoking there. Oh yeah, it's lit. It's going. And now what you can do is actually turn the fan on, push it down once, turn the low fan on. It'll get the flames going in a circle. Kind of hear it humming a little bit. Now you want to do is you want to keep feeding it like so. It doesn't take much to fill this thing up. It's a pretty small canister. Like I said, it's about the size of an Nalgene, so I'm just breaking off little pieces here, dropping them in. I went ahead and dumped out some of the wet wood there. I didn't want to smoke out the house here, so I went and dumped some of the wet wood out. Put some of the good dry sticks in there. You can see it's not supposed to smoke a lot, so I kind of went ahead and dumped it out a little bit. There we go. Now we got it going. Now what it should do is it should charge up for that to turn green on the bottom. See the nice circle of flames going there. So unfortunately it does take a few minutes to get going. It's still on low. There we go. All right, so we got green light, which means go for high. Oh, that was a miss. Now you can drop stuff in there. And it should be at green for full high temperature. And now you can actually go and put your water. Just got that kind of a regulating thing on there. On the stove like that. And it'll be boiling in a few minutes. So I'm not gonna bore you with that, but that's kind of how it's done. You know, you need to keep this stocked. You need to go ahead and keep filling it up with wood because it does burn down. It doesn't burn down as quick as you might think, but you need to have a good supply of wood on hand. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment with any questions below, and have a good one. Thanks. This is kind of my afterthought right now, but I do want to point out how well it is protected by the wind. I mean, there's vents on the side, but they don't go all the way through to the flames. It kind of has an air ring on the outside, like a double wall kind of setup. I'm just letting it burn out right now, but I want to show you guys kind of what it looks like towards the end. So there you go. Still green. And it will stay green right there for as long as there's heat inside and the battery is sensing heat, or the sensor for the battery is sensing heat. So that will let you keep all your USB components charged or charging, which is pretty neat.